Hi, everybody. Eric Watrous here. I'm going to be doing the Sunday service. Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers out there in the world. I love you all very much. Thank you for helping everybody out. Thank you for raising us. Thank you for bringing us into being. This week, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about a message I shared a while back and kind of explain why I wasn't around last Sunday and what was going on and how that impacted and changed my life a little bit. So, and then I'm going to do some channeling because that's one of the things I do also. And so, what happened was I got into alignment, and because of that, some money just kind of showed up out of nowhere. And that was really cool. And how and why is not really that relevant. The point was that got into alignment, it showed up. So that was a really validating thing for me to keep me going, to believe that I was on the right track. What happened last month is my grandfather died. And so my grandfather, his whole life, he was a fisherman. And he spent his whole life working the waters. And he was always a very simple man, a very kind man, a very loving man, a very gentle man. He was always very sincere to everybody, and he really loved people a lot. And what he did his whole life always seemed very simple. People were always like, well, that's just an honest, hard working job. And so I came back home from that, and I I said to myself, well, if people could ask me what I really want to do for a living, what I actually want to do, I've been saying for a long time I want to be a doctor. I want to be some sort of doctor, and that sounds good. And I got a degree going down that path. And I said, well, if what I say really becomes what is going to happen to me, if that really becomes my reality, if that really becomes my livelihood, then why don't I just start telling people that I want to be a multimillionaire fishing charter captain part-time? I said to myself, well, that sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound like it'd be too tough. I could just say that and that would happen. And so I started to practice that. I started to say that's what I wanted to be. And this last weekend, I went to a point out near Long Beach at the end of Longboat Key. I had a day off, and I sat on the end of a dock down there. And a man walks up to me and starts talking to me, and I find out he's a fishing charter captain. And so he starts explaining to me how to be a fishing charter, and he starts telling me, well, this is what you have to have as bait, and this is what you have to have as hooks, and this is how you do it, and it's not really that tough, and you can just do it this way, and you can. And by the way, kid, I can make $1,500 a day doing this. And I'm like, no kidding. So my life's kind of been unfolding in various validating ways that if you start to believe that you can create anything for yourself, if you start to believe that you can create anything for your family, if you start to believe that good things can happen, if you start to actually put that belief in yourself, if you start to say to yourself, no matter what I do, no matter where I go, I'm going to be successful, then it starts to become true. And you start to believe it, and other people start to believe it also. And when I was young, at a very young age, I had this thought come into my head. And it was, if Hitler, one man, could do that much bad for the world, what's to say I, one man, can't do that much good? We're all equal, right? So if one person can influence that much change in a negative direction, what's to say one person can't influence that much change in a positive direction? You don't need any qualifications, any criteria. You just have to believe that you can do it. And so from that inner belief, from that inner knowing, you can start to rebuild your life. And you can always tell yourself, well, for whatever reason, I don't think I can do that. For whatever reason, I don't think I can accomplish that. But you can always tell yourself, well, I can, and I will, and I shall, and I believe in me. And when you really go forward with that, when you really believe that from the depths of your being, I believe you can do anything. And so that's my story for the day. And I really am sincere about wanting to be a fishing charter captain at this point in my life. I think it'd be a really peaceful living. Okay, I'm going to do some channeling now. They come through me. It's a large group of angels, masters, teachers, and healers. When they flow through with the energy that they flow through with, it's very overwhelming, and I don't always remember everything that they say. It's a very interesting process to me also. So, hello. We're high vibrational angels, masters, teachers, and healers. We agreed to come through this individual on his soul contract early on in his life when he was going through a tough time in order to help to uplift him and his spirit and help to uplift others in this manner. When you are living the life that you have here on this planet, you have many choices. You have the choice to go forward and to help people. You have the choice to be selfish and keep it all for yourself. You have the choice to inspire. You have the choice to uplift. You have the choice to sit around and be depressed. You have the choice to have a good life. You have a choice to have a very not that enjoyable life. It is always your choice as to what you need to do and what you ought to do with the time that you spend here on this planet. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of people right now, because of what's been going on, and because of how the quarantines have been working, and because of how your planet has been affected, that have been, for an extended period of time, not able or unable to interact with a large group of people. And as a result, they've come into some sort of depression, some sort of, in some instances, suicidal thoughts or suicidal tendencies, and in some sorts, in instances, depression that leads to feeling about their children or their mother or their family as not as high a vibration as they would optimally like to think. And so, what you can do about this is you can tell yourself that you've been through good points in your life before. You have had good experiences. You have had good contact with those people that you're right now not thinking so highly about. And you have had experiences in your life that have showed you that if you keep walking, if you keep moving forward, you are able to overcome and surmount any obstacle. And so, as you think about that, as you process that, as that sinks into your being, you're able to say to yourself, if I can do this and I have done this and I will do this, then I can do it again and I will do it again and I will come out of this and things will be doing really well. And don't say to yourself, well, there's a whole bunch of people around me that are doing really well and I'm not doing that well. Don't say to yourself, well, there's people that had much better family circumstances than I did, so everybody just doesn't understand where I'm coming from. Well, yes, everybody is different. Everybody chooses their family and their parents before they come into a physical encasement. Everybody goes through different instances and circumstances in life that cause them to want to change, to want things to be different, to wonder what someone else has. That's very common, to say they have something and I don't have it, so I want that. Well, really, what you need in order to feel good about yourself is what brings peace to your spirit, what brings peace to your soul. It isn't what somebody else has and what brings peace to them. That is why there's so many different types of houses on your planet. None of the houses look the same. It isn't because somebody really thought that everybody should have a different type of house and the builders all started to build different houses. It's because you all like different things. It's because everybody wants something different. It's because no two people are exactly the same. And so while some want a house that is made of clay, some want a house that's made of brick, some want a house that's made of wood, and some want to live on the beach. And so it is that way. Someone to live in the woods. It is that way on your earth. No two people want the same thing. So when you say to yourself, someone has something that I don't, it isn't serving you. It isn't helping you to understand that you need to move forward in your life with the desire to create what you need for yourself. So if you say to yourself, well, that person over there is very happy, and I think that I should just copy them exactly verbatim, you might not wind up as happy within yourself as they are within themselves because you are innately a different person than them. If you're saying to yourself, well, I was told I need to copy verbatim what my parents planned for me when I was a child, well, you find out sooner or later that that doesn't work at all. And so you have to find within yourself what you need to do what you need to do. Now, you might be going through a list of jobs on the internet and saying, this is what society says I'm supposed to do. I have to pick from this list and I have to work one of these jobs. Well, not entirely. You probably should start working one of those jobs so that you have some kind of income, but you really can create any job that you desire. If there is a need for it, tell yourself you can do it. Walk forward in that direction, make it happen. It isn't something that has to be instructed. It isn't something that has to be told to you from an outside source. It is something that you can say to yourself from within inside. I can create anything I imagine. And I am just as lucky and deserving and capable as all those people that have created things that were considered to be impossible. And I think they're one offs, but I think I can do it too deep down. And so you have to say to yourself, this is easy. This is something I can do. This isn't going to be painful. This isn't going to be difficult. This isn't going to be strenuous. This isn't going to be arduous. This isn't going to be a journey that is so painful that it's not worth the wonderful experience that I'm going to receive at the end of it. You're going to say to yourself, this is going to be good. This is going to be happy. This is going to be fulfilling. This is going to be life-changing. This is going to be uplifting. I'm going to be able to help people. I'm going to be able to help myself. I'm going to be able to help my family. This is going to be good for me. And when you give yourself that pep talk, you go from saying to yourself, I might be able to do it, and I should probably just be safe and do what everybody else is doing, to saying, I am going to do it. And what everybody else is doing is what everybody else is doing. That's not my responsibility to manage their life. It's not my responsibility to tell them what I think. It's not my responsibility to make them happy. I need to stop placing that burden on myself. My responsibility is to say to myself and to say to others, I can do it, you can do it. Whatever it is, you're capable. Whatever you believe in, you can accomplish it. I didn't come to this planet to see others thrive and succeed and say to myself, I can't do it. I just can't do it. No, you came to say to yourself, I can do it. I will do it. Watch me. You came to this planet to say, it's not that hard to be happy. Many people, that's the main message of their life, through their existence, through what they do. And other people say, well, I worked much harder, so I should be much happier. There is no gain in pain. There is gain in alignment. And one action completely aligned with who you are and what you want to do with your life can be more powerful, more influential, more profitable, and more enjoyable than 100 actions completely out of alignment with yourself, even if you did them working very, very hard. If you had to be angry at 100 people in order to accomplish one thing, and instead you were just nice to somebody in order to accomplish that one thing, if you had to argue with 100 people in order to get your point across, rather than just being nice to one person to get your point across, you would have been much more successful, much more enjoyed, worked much less hard in order to convince that one person that you were really nice to than arguing with 100 people that were really difficult. Life doesn't have to be something that you force it into being. It should be something that you shape, something you mold, something you create gently, carefully, with love and passion, with kindness, with sympathy. It is not a life well lived unless you live it for others. You have to be a person of service if you want to feel as though you accomplished what you came here to do. And that is the secret. But you also have to be nice to yourself and kind enough to yourself that you can say to yourself that you can do it. Because what you're really doing is you're really trying to help people. But what you're really not doing is helping yourself sometimes. And so you have to look deep within yourself and say, I am perfect, I am beautiful, I am loving, I am deserving, I am capable of anything. When you say this to yourself, deep within the core of your being, deep within your soul, you are able to continue to walk forward and do the work to help others. You're able to continue to walk forward and have that compassion, to hold that light, to be that kind force in the universe that helps to change things in a better direction. And through that, You have the inspiration to make mountains move. Through that, you have the force within you to cast out doubts within yourself and doubts within others. Through that, you are able to convince people that they are perfect, exactly as they are, and they don't need to change. They don't need to have some great epiphany. They don't need to have some person come and have pressure from the outside of them. They can just say to themselves, deep down, I'm capable, I'm loving, I'm gentle, I'm compassionate. And through this, I am able to accomplish anything. And we say to many, every session we speak to one of you with, that if you truly believe and come into alignment with the fact that you can do anything on this earth, then you shall be able to accomplish anything. And we hope that one person, just one person, completely, fully believes that and goes forth and accomplishes great things and says, you can do anything. You really can. And I doubted it my whole life. And then all of a sudden, I believed it, and it happened. It's not that difficult of concept. And because of that, many people on earth think that it's ridiculous, because only the things that are really complicated and convoluted are possible means of achieving tremendous success. No, that's not the case. The way of achieving the success that you desire is oftentimes the path of least resistance, the path where you allow yourself to walk in the direction that you've always wanted to your whole life. If you're finding yourself at 40, 45 years old and you're saying, I really am stuck, perhaps it's because you've been living a life trying to please somebody else. Perhaps it's because you've been living in existence trying to do something that somebody else told you to do. And now you really need to sit down with yourself for a second while you've got some time off and say to yourself, what do I want to do? If money wasn't an issue, what do I want to do? Okay, now that I've realized that I can make money doing anything, how am I going to make money doing what I really want to do? Now I really have to believe that that can happen. And once I believe that that can happen, it will. It will come into being. Please, everybody, be very gentle on your mothers today. They've cared for you from a very, very young age. They love you very much. We love you all. Have a peaceful Mother's Day. Goodbye for now. Hey, everybody. So a little explanation for people who are tuning in for the first time. I was about 18 years old. I had a really intense spiritual experience, spiritual awakening, really knocked me off my feet. And that caused me to go get a job at Home Depot, started pushing shopping carts, and got myself grounded. From there, I was able to move forward. And a little while into it, and at the initial onset of this spiritual experience, I had something happen to me where something spoke through me that wasn't myself, said positive and uplifting words. So when I'm talking to you all just like this, it's me. I have my own opinion. I'm my own person. When they speak through me, I can't control the words. So that's really important for people to understand that, is that when something comes through me, it moves my mouth, words come out. I don't know how that works, but it's not me. If you don't believe that, that's fine. I probably wouldn't have believed it earlier on before this whole spiritual thing anyway. I didn't believe it, as a matter of fact. I remember my mom used to watch Abraham Hicks tapes, and I thought it was ridiculous. And then after my spiritual experience, I loved Abraham Hicks. I thought it was the coolest thing. And so I believe that everything comes full circle. And so if you're having a tough time in your life, please keep your head up. Please believe in yourself. Next Sunday, or not next Sunday, the second Sunday of every month, I do the Sunday service. And next month, the second Sunday, it'll be in person at the Cosmic Center. So if you're tuning into this, please come join the Cosmic Center. I'm going to figure out a way with the Wi-Fi there to get this up on Zoom. Also, I'll probably bring a laptop because there'll be people there. Might need a microphone. Figure that out. Also, doing a trip to Peru. You might have seen in the Cosmic Center newsletter. If not, get on the newsletter. It's cool. You see all kinds of stuff. Or email Sharon Elizabeth, and she'll get you all the information about what's going on at the Cosmic Center. Personally, I'm doing a trip to Peru. It'll probably be toward the end of this year. The date's not finalized yet because there are things going on with the Peruvian government and quarantines and restrictions and what is allowed and not allowed for travel. So as those ease up, the date will be solidified. But you can find that on my personal Facebook page. Everybody have a wonderful Mother's Day. Love you all very much. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.